And last but not least, of my 3-canned White River. Yeah, they've been trying to get this can line out for a while, and I'm not sure what the holdup was, but it was finally released today to the stores, as it were. This is the last of the 3. I started with the White Creek Wit. And then I had the Pull Type Pilsner, and now the Table Rock Red. Now this is the Belgian. They actually do 2 versions of this style. Most of the bars, there's a lot of bars in town that carry the Table Rock Red, but they carry the original version, which is on tap at most places. It comes out nitrogen, and it is more of it's a big malty red, more of a traditional Irish ale, or some could think of it as an ESB, somewhere in that ballpark. It's a more malty, malt forward, kind of American craft red. Well, this one is different. This mellow red ale starts with complex caramel malt flavors, followed with layers of dry fruitiness from our authentic Belgian yeast strain. Yeah, they decided to do a Belgian version. I'm not sure why, other than I know the head brewer out there is a fan of all things Belgian beers, so almost everything he does, even almost every style, seems to taste Belgian-esque on some level. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just kind of his trademark. Oh, wow. The aromas on this are exquisite, though. I mean, you do feel those notes of a traditional red. A lot of big caramel notes, but it's mixed with that Belgian kind of fruity, floral, essence that you get from a typical Belgian ale. It just makes for a very nice beer. The can says it's 6.5%. I'm pretty sure the brewery says it's 7% at the brewery, and the bottled versions, I believe, were 7% as well. I don't know. All of the can versions, the ABVs were slightly less than the taproom version, so I'm not sure what the deal is, but there you go. I'm a fan of this brewery. Again, I'm a fan of all my local breweries. And I think the reason for that is they're all doing different things. Again, White River, they do a lot of big ABV stuff. And almost everything the brewer out there does has this Belgian kind of influence. Even they do this great Doppelbock called Goat Trail Doppelbock, and it certainly feels like a Doppel, but then again, even in that, you can almost feel the Belgian influence. But everything they do is fantastic. He likes big ABVs, though. The last I was there, they had nothing under 5%. Most hovered around 7, some around 9 or so. He likes big beers, Piney River has their niche. Mother's has their niche. Springfield Brewing Company. I guess all these breweries are in competition on some level, but they're all doing such different types of beer that it would depend on what you're in the mood for. Craft beer drinkers and macro drinkers are 2 different animals. Macro drinkers are brand specific. Usually once you pick a flavor, you're there for life, because it's not necessarily about flavor. It's I guess it is. That's the wrong thing to say. It's about a different kind of flavor, though, because they don't switch, generally speaking. But those beers do tend to be one-dimensional. But typically, macro drinkers do not switch brands. I know my dad didn't. He grew up drinking Grain Belt, which was a local Midwest beer. He was born in 22, so we're going way back. When he came to California, he became an Olympia drinker, and he stayed with that till the day he died. Even though the beer changed over the years and changed hands. That was his brand. That's what he was drinking, by golly. Craft beer drinkers are a different kind of animal. We have favorite breweries. I mean, I know I do. But we have favorite beers and favorite beer styles. But we rarely buy the same beers over and over again. I know even for me, when I go out, if I'm having more than one, I will almost never drink the same beer twice. I will start at one end of the spectrum, whatever that is, and move to the other. And I even do that when I drink at home, I don't like to have the same thing over and over again. I'm glad White River put out a can line. It just makes sense for this part of the country. Actually, it makes sense for every part of the country anymore. Cans seem to be the way to go. This is a great beer, and I don't know that there's anything else quite like it. They don't call it a double, but it almost kind of has that feel because it's malty, but it has, you know, it has those fruity tones. It's a little lighter than most Belgian doubles, so I don't guess it is, but it sort of has that feel of a Belgian double about it. So I'm a fan of the brewery. I'm Tone the Beer Whisperer. I'll talk to you later.